Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So you're growing and you need an ERP. That's huge. It's honestly one of the highest stakes software decisions your company can make. Now, if you've landed on Odoo, great choice. You've already narrowed the field down to one of the most flexible platforms on the market today. But right out of the gate, you hit a second equally massive fork in the road. Do you go with Odoo Community or Odoo Enterprise? Look, getting this wrong, it's rough. You either end up overpaying for features you literally never touch, or far worse, you outgrow your new system the exact second your business starts gaining real momentum. And that's exactly why we at Forge9 are here. We want to help you dodge those costly traps. Today, we're giving you our complete 2026 guide to understanding the real differences between these two editions so you can decide with absolute confidence. Here's our blueprint for your success today. First, choosing your Odoo path. Then, we'll talk about the same core engine, look at Community, free but DIY, and contrast it with Enterprise, polished and supported. Finally, we'll cover the 5 factors that matter and lay out our strategic implementation roadmap.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, choosing your Odoo path, arguably the highest stakes software decision you're making this year.
Moving right along to Section 2, the same core engine, where we're busting the big myth. Now, what's really interesting here is that a ton of people think Community and Enterprise are these completely separate products. They absolutely aren't. They're actually just 2 tiers built on the exact same platform. It's a shared foundation. Whether you pick Community or Enterprise, you're running on the exact same Python framework, hitting the same Postgres database, and sharing the identical data model for your orders, products, and accounting entries. The core technology under the hood, it's identical. But what changes, and this is where the rubber meets the road, is who actually carries the burden of technical responsibility when your system goes live. It's all about how the software is licensed, what out-of-the-box features you unlock, who picks up the phone when a process inevitably breaks, and just how painful your next system upgrade is going to be. Which brings us to Section 3, Community, free but DIY, the open source reality. So Community is the free open source edition released under the LGPL v3 license. You can just download it, tweak the source code, host it yourself, and run core modules like CRM, sales, and inventory without paying a single cent in licensing fees. And hey, for a startup just testing the waters, that sounds incredibly attractive. But we really need to expose the illusion of free here. There are some serious limitations. With Community, you get absolutely zero official Odoo support. You don't get access to Odoo Studio. You lack a polished accounting suite. There is no official mobile app. And get this, all your upgrades are completely self-managed. That means you need serious developer intervention every time. So sure, free covers the software license, but you are absolutely still paying for hosting, implementation, and heavy engineering time. If your team doesn't have deep technical chops, trust me, those hidden costs are going to add up remarkably fast. Let's pivot to Section 4, Enterprise, polished and supported, built specifically for scaling. Now, Enterprise is the commercial edition, and it builds directly on top of that Community foundation we just talked about. It brings proprietary applications, official support, managed hosting options, and a vastly smoother upgrade path to the table. This is explicitly designed for organizations that want rock-solid reliability and way lower technical overhead. You know, companies that want to run their business, not an ongoing DIY IT project. And honestly, a massive advantage of this tier is Odoo Studio. It's a drag-and-drop, no-code customization tool. It literally empowers non-developers to build highly specific workflows and custom reports without writing a single line of code. It completely frees up your developer time and effortlessly brings advanced modules like field service and quality management to life. It's an absolute game changer for day-to-day agility. But of course, Enterprise isn't free. Let's ground this discussion in our 2026 reality, shall we? The typical pricing per user for Odoo Enterprise generally runs somewhere between roughly $25 and $35 a month. Now, yeah, this can fluctuate a bit depending on your country, your billing cycle, and contract length, and sure, promotional first-year discounts can knock that down initially. But framing it this way makes the software a predictable operational expense. Just keep in mind, though, the license is only one layer of the cake. Data migration, training, and the actual implementation, that's what makes up the lion's share of your ERP budget. Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds. 5 factors that matter, the side-by-side comparison. Okay, let's fire through this side-by-side comparison. First up, cost. Community is free to license, sure, but it taxes you heavily in time and engineering. Enterprise, on the other hand, gives you a predictable per-user subscription that actually bundles in support. Speaking of support, factor number 2. With Community, you're pretty much relying on internet forums and your own internal team to squash bugs. Enterprise, you get official support and bug fixes straight from the source. Third is customization.
Community demands hard coding for your custom workflows. Enterprise hands you Odoo Studio for total no-code agility. Fourth, upgrades. In Community, upgrades are entirely self-managed. One wrong move and you can easily break your custom modules. In Enterprise, upgrades are far smoother and supported by certified partners. And finally, features. Both share core ERP functions, absolutely, but Enterprise gives you a full-blown accounting suite, mobile apps for Android and iOS, and advanced industry modules right out of the box.
And that brings us to Section 6, our Strategic Implementation Roadmap, the Forge 9 way. So the crucial point here is that at Forge 9, we don't just sell software. We look closely at your specific technical capacity and your unique growth trajectory to recommend the absolute right path. And for a lot of companies, that's this highly effective middle path. Step 1, start on Odoo Community. This lets your team validate that the software is actually a good fit and learn the platform without dropping a massive budget up front. Step 2, grow your business until you hit specific operational load thresholds. You'll know you're there when your team size or accounting complexity suddenly makes the DIY approach way too painful. And Step 3, seamlessly migrate to Odoo Enterprise. Remember how we talked about both editions sharing the exact same underlying PostgreSQL database and data model? Because of that, stepping up to Enterprise is a smooth, non-disruptive transition. It is night and day compared to ripping out and replacing an entirely different ERP system. But, and this is absolutely critical, we must emphasize this fundamental truth. The addition is only as good as the implementation behind it. I cannot stress this enough. A poorly planned, misconfigured enterprise deployment is going to frustrate your team and drain your wallet just as fast as an unsupported, struggling community database. Picking the software? That's literally just step 1. How it is actually mapped to your specific real-world workflows is what ultimately makes or breaks your success. And honestly, that is exactly where expert guidance pays for itself. At Forge 9, we are your certified Odoo specialists. We don't just point at a pricing tier, we help you choose, implement, and fully customize the exact right addition based on your unique operational workflows, your budget, and your actual growth plans. We're not just looking for the longest feature list. A quick conversation with our team can literally save you months of painful, costly course correction down the line. So we've unpacked the shared foundation, the very real hidden costs of free, and the massive power of enterprise. You now know the software differences for 2026 inside and out. But the most important question remains. You know the software, but is your team truly ready for the implementation? If you aren't absolutely 100% sure, it's time to reach out to us at Forge 9. Book a free consultation and let's map out the perfect path for your operations. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.